So some of my favorite memories that I think is very unique to the Hmong culture is that we have a lot of big family gatherings, and I really love those. My favorite memories were sometimes when we would do like we would hoopli, or we would do the no pechao and like going to the Hmong New Year, or just basically if there's the 4th of July, we would always invite all of our cousins over, and being able to hear the noises and the sounds and like of a whole entire like a lot of family members and dishes clinking everywhere, and like a bunch of old Hmong ladies gossiping in the corner while they're washing dishes, and like seeing the guys gossip in the basement while they're drinking alcohol and stuff like that. I actually really like those memories because the house always felt very full and complete, and I always I had a lot of fun. And I think it's kind of sad because now I think the newer Hmong generation, those kids aren't really getting those experiences as much anymore. And so then when I look at my nephews and them, I think, like it's kind of sad because to you, your favorite memory is getting like an Xbox, but then my favorite memory is just meeting with my family over like fireworks or something like that. Um, thing, I think another thing was the fact that in general, usually Hmong families are bigger. For example, I have six, there's a total of 8 people in the house in my family, and I really like that experience because then there was always something to do in the house. It never felt quiet. It was always very fun. The house felt like it was like, yeah, there was a lot of arguing with people in the house because when there's a lot of people in one tiny area, you guys can't deal with each other. But at the same time, there was just a lot of love in our family. Um, a difficult time that we had to deal with was when my mom and dad got a divorce. When that happens, it's tough just because, like I said, the Hmong culture is very patriarchal, and when the dad and the mom get a divorce, it's tough because then everybody was like, my mom should stay with my dad, because what happened was my dad had married another wife, and my mom was like, well, usually the choice is that the wife would stay and just be patient and just stick through it, because then she needs the husband in order to maintain a life that is protected, so she can be protected basically. And when I mean protected, I mean having security on a house, being able to have security with family members, because if you don't have a family that's willing to support you, then it's hard, especially since we are animists and we have to deal with the whole entire ancestor things. And it's hard because no one's going to look at you and no one's going to help support you and respect you anymore if you don't have a dad. However, it was tough because then my mom decided to get a divorce anyways because she couldn't stand for that for what my dad had done. And it was really tough because then when that happened, a lot of my family members they were all up in our business, which is hard for me just because, we grew up in American culture where we usually keep our stuff pretty private. But then hearing everybody talk about what was going on and hearing people kind of talk in a way badmouth my mom too, just because they were like, you should have stayed, and there's a reason why your husband like cheated on you and got married and stuff like that. And so it was tough having to deal with all of that, and at the same time it was really hard because then when my dad did leave, my mom had to try to pick up all the pieces and make sure that her kids were still being raised well, and that she wasn't going to abandon her kids no matter what, even if in the Hmong culture like they look badly at a single mom. And also my mom chose not to get remarried, which was really big too, because then usually when you get a divorce, the wife wants to get remarried right away so that she can be protected under the husband's family. However, she decided not to, and it was tough because then we didn't do the hooplis anymore, and we didn't do no picho anymore because we didn't have a dad. And so then like a lot of the times it was just us being alone. And sadly, when my dad did get a divorce, a lot of my family members we kind of like got just not displaced but separated from each other, and we weren't as close anymore. We stopped seeing each other as much. We stopped going to those family events. Things got really weird. My mom didn't want to show up around my cousins anymore, but I'm really close with my cousins. And so there was that whole ordeal, and it was also hard just because she was a single mom, and so we didn't have that much of an income, and it was tough because she was the one who had to pick me up every day at school, and we didn't have my dad to do that, and she had to really support me through college.